Hello friends, we have successfully completed 10 episodes of Ponniyin Selvan Season 1 in our Kadhatellaporom channel. And to share this happiness with you all, we have come up with a special episode to recap episodes 1 to 10. So, if you missed any episode, you can quickly catch up here. Our lovable novel, Ponniyin Selvan, was written by Amarar Kalki. He takes us through the story from the point of view of Vandiyathevan of the house Vanarkulam. Vandiyathevan, who was a royal guard and a friend to the crown prince Aditya Karikalan, was assigned with the task of delivering two important messages. One is to the Chola dynasty's emperor Sundara Cholar, who is also Aditya Karikalar's father, and the other is to Princess Kundavai, who is Aditya Karikalar's younger sister. He started from Kanji towards Tanjavur to deliver on his mission. On his way, at a place called Vinnagaram Temple, he happened to meet Alvarkadiyan Nambi, a staunch Vishnu devotee who loves to bicker on the topic Shivan versus Vishnu. He also saw Palvettariyar, the finance minister of the Chola dynasty, and his young, fair, beautiful wife being carried in a palanquin behind by his rally of soldiers. Vandiyathevan also noticed the quick, cryptic and shocked exchange between Alvarkadiyan Nambi and Palvettariyar's wife, which left him puzzled. Vandiyathevan next reached Kadambur Sambhurayar's palace, where he planned to visit his good friend Kandamaran. A lot of the Chola dynasty's royalties were present in the palace that night, and because of that, security was tightened. Hence, Vandiyathevan was denied entry. So, Vandiyathevan entered the palace in his own banging style, quickly saved and welcomed by his dear friend Kandamaran. Kandamaran introduced his friend to his father Sambhurayar and his uncle Palvettariyar, who didn't welcome Vandiyathevan warmly. Later in the evening, Vandiyathevan happened to witness Kuravai Kuthu, a very anticipated musical drama performed by actors dressed as gods and goddesses. In the middle of the performance, Devaralan became possessed and demanded the sacrifice of royal blood. This shocked the audience greatly. That night, after dinner, Vandiyathevan was given a bed in the far corner of the palace. But a very restless Vandiyathevan woke up in the middle of the night only to notice Nambi hiding on one of the palace walls and watching something keenly. When Vandiyathevan got nearer to investigate, it became clear to him that all the Chola dynasty's royalty were present in the palace, attending a secret meeting presided by Palvettariyar. In the meeting, they decided that Madhurandaka Devar, who is Sundara Cholar's elder brother's son, should be the next king and not the crown prince Aditya Karikalan. In fact, Madhurandakar gave a surprised entry to the meeting, coming out of the palanquin meant for Palvettariyar's wife. Once the meeting was over, Vandiyathevan went back to his bed and the next morning pretended to his friend that he slept soundly through the whole night. He said his goodbyes to Kandamaran and started his journey again. Since Kolidam river wasn't easy to cross with Vandiyathevan's horse, Kandamaran sent his servant with him to cross the river on a boat and buy a horse on the other side of the river. On the same boat was Nambi too. Since each knew the secrets of last night's meeting, they tried to make the other spill their thoughts on it, but in vain. So, Vandiyathevan changed the subject to the connection between Nambi and Palvettariyar's wife. In response, Nambi revealed that Palvettariyar's wife was in fact his adopted sister Nandini. Nambi then narrated his story as follows. 3 years ago, During the last war between the Cholas and the Pandyas, the Pandya king, who was seriously wounded, took shelter in Nambi's house in the banks of the river Vaigai. Nandini was alone at that time, and she aided the king Veerapandyar. But the Chola soldiers tracked the king and killed him right in front of Nandini's eyes. And Pazhavettariyar, who happened to see Nandini there, hypnotized by her beauty, abducted her. Ever since then, Nambi has been trying to get in touch with his sister, but in vain. This sad story made Vandiyadevan feel quite sorry for Nambi, but he still couldn't be sure if Nambi was speaking the truth. When Kandamaran's servant came back with a horse, before leaving, Vandiyadevan pressed one last time about the future of the Chola kingdom and its next heir. But Nambi refused to answer any of them and instead suggested Vandiyadevan to visit an astrologer he knows in Kumbakonam. So, Vandiyadevan decided to take the detour and visit the astrologer. Around the same time, Princess Kundavai, accompanied by her friend Vanati and few others, were also sailing on the river Arasalaru. Vanati is late Kodumbalur Ilaya Velalar's daughter. When their boat reached the river banks, Kundavai and Vanati alone took a chariot to Kumbakonam astrologer's house. When they reached the astrologer's house, Kundavai first inquires about Vanati's future, and astrologer very favorably replied that Vanati will marry Kundavai's younger brother Arunmozhivarmar. Next, when Vanati was inquiring about Kundavai's future husband, right then the door flew open and entered our hero Vandiyadevan. Kundavai and Vandiyadevan stared at each other, completely mesmerized. When the spell broke, Vandiyadevan apologized for his impertinence and left the room. When Kundavai and Vanati appeared outside, Vandiyadevan apologized again to Kundavai, but she only shyly stared at him in response and left without saying a word. Next was Vandiyadevan's turn to see the astrologer. The astrologer could only give cryptic answers to most of Vandiyadevan's enquiries as it involved other people's lives in it. But he did assure Vandiyadevan that his personal missions will be a success. After leaving the astrologer's house, Vandiyadevan again started his journey towards Tanjavur. But on his way, in the riverbanks, he saw a bunch of girls in a panic, shouting for help as a crocodile was attacking them. Vandiyadevan also noticed Kundavai amongst them and jumped to aid them. He threw a spear directly at the crocodile's head. That concludes the first 10 episodes of Ponniyin Selvan. Do continue to watch Kadhatellaporom channel to know what happens next. Until then, bye!